All right. So tonight's guest is a storyteller who writes Black love with intention, tenderness, and heat. C.M. Barnes is a Black urban romance and erotica author out of Cleveland, Ohio, who works centers joy, devotion, sensuality, and emotional truth for Black women without requiring suffering at the price of love. With a background in civil engineering, her storytelling is layered with precision. She builds emotional architecture the same way she builds foundations, carefully, intentionally, and strong enough to hold the weight of complex characters. She's the author of 5 books, including 3 titles in the Winston Hill series, the fan favorite Enigma, and Concrete and Cadence, and her upcoming collaborative project in 206. Her stories make space for Black women to be adored, cherished, chosen, desired, and safe while still being sensual, messy, funny, healing, and real. She also she's also a Lego architect in her free time, a mother of two, and someone who clearly understands that storytelling, like building, requires patience, vision, and soul. Welcome to Black Girl Tired Book Talk. Please give a warm welcome to C.M. Barnes.
Hey, not you got me all these titles going.
Hey,
Thank
you
you.
got
Thank
yourself
you.
all them titles. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just
Thank you
putting
for
it out.
having me.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So let's get to the questions.
Okay.
Um, where did your love for writing begin? Was it books you read as a child, stories you created in your head, life experiences, or did you find you later in life? Like, was it a moment you said, "Yeah, this is the shit I need to do"?
Oh, I think it's a combination of all things, right?
Mhm.
Because I've always been a reader. I've always loved Black romance, urban romance, contemporary romance. And
Mhm.
so you can see pieces of yourself in these stories at
Yeah.
times, right? And I know people like this fiction is this, is that, but a lot of fiction we pull from the things around us, our own life experiences.
Mhm.
How many books have you read where you be like, I've been through something similar? Yeah,
Yeah.
been there, done that, good, better, and different. The writing part, though, came where I was like, I need an outlet and I have a story to tell. Like, I read all
Mhm.
these great stories, but, I am on the more mature side at 41. And I
Mhm.
was like, I want to write a mature
Yeah.
erotica. Like I was like, I want to do that. I had outlined Winston Hill, Enigma actually, and Enigma was not called Enigma. It was something so generic. Second chances. It was something really generic, and I was
Mhm.
like, ugh, it wasn't sticking. But
Yeah.
I outlined it. I started writing it, and when I finally got to the title, I was like, yeah, this is good. I like this. I like the way it feels. But yeah, it's like this series, Winston Hills. It's mature reading. Um, you're gonna be older. You're gonna meet characters who have dealt with losing spouses or
Mhm.
women in their 40s who are trying to figure out who they are, because that is a real thing
It is.
for women, is to get to a point after 20s and your 30s or 40s and you're like, okay, for real, who am I? And what do I want? What do I need? And what am I going to require? And what am I willing to do to get it? So I just thought, like, after Enigma, because Enigma came first, and after I was fleshing out the characters and, the side characters, I was like, I think this should be a series. And I just been going with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. A lot of times people don't realize their sexual drive is not in their 20s. It's not in their 30s. It's literally in your 40s. And you get to that point, like, I do not give a fuck how nasty I am. I,
Because who are you living for,
right.
right? Who are you living for? By the time you reach 40, God willing,
Hmm.
you've been paying bills for a while. If you got kids, you've raised kids, are raising kids,
Hmm.
you're working. And the thing is, who are you living for at that point in your 40s? Like, you paying bills, you going to work, you listening to people. Your bedroom should be the one place where you find total joy
Yeah.
and you know satisfaction, and a lot of women just do not get
But you
that.
also said men because he was in his
40s.
40s, 50s,
Yeah.
and he was willing to dive into places most, especially black men, do not want to attempt to do because they think it's going to emasculate them. So I
Um,
like that. I like
I
that.
do. I think a lot of people are more sexually fluid than they would give themselves credit for,
Mm-hmm.
but we just have been socialized to feel that women have a place in the bedroom and men have a place in the bedroom,
Yeah,
and anything that they deem emasculating a man shouldn't do. But by all means, any man who's had a prostate exam gonna tell you would go on back there.
for real.
Got to get to poking around
And
and
hit that prostate right.
huh?
Hmm.
So,
Just saying.
so uh, yeah. And so
So
I just wanted the men to have pleasure too. Like your partner, man, woman, they, them, should really be comfortable coming to you and being like, I like this. I enjoy this.
yeah,
I want to try this.
yeah,
And so I was like, well, if I'm gonna take it there, just go. Don't
yeah.
half step it. Yeah.
So you describe your voice as both bold and tender. How do you intentionally balance vulnerability and sensuality on the page without sacrificing like the emotional depth?
Because you know what? The best sex to me, this is just my opinion, but the best sex you tend to have is when you're emotionally connected to somebody. I'm not
Mm,
saying you got to be madly, deeply in love, but there has to be some type of emotional connection
mm,
where pleasure is the goal
yeah,
there. Like, it's got to be the goal. So, if you have that emotional connection and these characters connect emotionally even outside of the bedroom, it's just very easy to make the love making intense.
yeah. So urban romance and erotica often gets boxed into stereotypes. How do
Yeah.
you actively resist that and instead craft stories that feel emotionally rich and nuanced and authentic?
I have a lens on what like being black looks like, right, in our
Mm-hmm.
world. And like you just said, when it comes to like black men, historically and even in the now, they are so used to being closed off
Mm-hmm.
sexually and falling into the pause, that's gay, no homo trap. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing things with a woman,
Yeah,
you're having sex with a woman,
yeah,
it's a woman. Yeah, that's a woman. And you're doing things with a woman and it's fine. So it's like I just look at what goes on around us and I'm like, well, in a place where sex is safe, sex is
mm-hmm.
consensual, pleasure is safe, I want to write those type of books because
Mm-hmm.
there are people who experience intimacy on that level. But
Yeah,
it just takes a lot of unpacking and unlearning to get there. Yeah.
yeah. Why do you believe that black erotica is not okay? Let me rephrase that. No, why do you believe black erotica is not just entertainment but necessary cultural storytelling, especially for black men and women?
Because in a way not in a way, when you write black erotica and you are putting spice on the page, it's telling people there's nothing wrong with sex, right? It
Mm,
is not something you have to hide and be secretive about. It opens the door for conversations about consent and
mhm,
autonomy, which have been missing in our community for a very long time. Women
mhm,
have, not had our autonomy and our sexual safety prioritized. And so by writing these books and opening the doors for conversation, you're saying, yeah, we should experience things in the ways that we want to. And that's why I feel like when people reduce black erotica down to smut,
mhm,
they miss a lot of the key details because the big one is safely enjoying intimacy with a person, right? And that be it BDSM. And, I love that Black Erotica is pushing the doors open, even on BDSM, because that is a rabbit hole that so many people don't fully understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in BDSM. I'm a dom. So I it's hard to find black books that represent us, and I have always said, and it's something that I go against with a lot of male doms, is that I'd say that there's a such thing as BDSM and black BDSM due to generational trauma.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
a lot of times people want to lump them all the same. There are certain things that regular BDSM that white people do we cannot, because it triggers
No.
something in us that is not safe, even
That's
in
why
us.
my eye twitch when interracial people do certain stuff in BDSM. I'll be
Mm,
like, huh? What'd you say? What do you mean? Like you, I feel like you make a good point. There are a lot of things that happen in non-black spaces
mm,
that black people have had to make their own
mm.
for safety reasons. And I feel like BDSM is one of them. I feel like how we look at sex and sex culture is one of those things that the black experience makes it different. It makes it totally different.
I think what the interracial thing is, with black authors that write interracial, I feel like a lot of them are married to interracial. They're married interracially. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of those women have had those conversations with their partners. Not to
Yeah,
say there are some that write who just really be fucking us over. But there's a lot who do take care, and they'll
yeah.
ask input, you know. So there's some good black interracial authors. I can't say nothing about white authors that do what they do, because I feel when you use smut and compare put it on a black label, it's almost like a microaggression.
It is.
Same with cock. You know, it is different if a black author who's writing an interracial romance and she uses cock because that's a white man.
Yeah.
But when a non-black author writes a book about black characters and that word cock is used, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Um, I as a whole, you're probably not going to see me read very much interracial. It
Mm,
has to be really well written and
mm,
thoughtful,
mm,
honestly. But also, I don't feel like non-black people ever accurately depict and capture blackness.
no,
So when you are even trying to write, even thoughtfully, let me
mm,
say it, even thoughtfully, you cannot capture us.
yeah,
The black experience is a lived experience,
that is true.
and there's just really no other way around that.
That is
So
true.
I absolutely agree with you. Our stories from our eyes and our lens, our thought process, it's important for us. And
Yeah,
that it comes down to, like you said, erotica, BDSM. Because how many people you know think they understand BDSM and
yeah.
they are just so off base, and you like that thought process is so dangerous in this space for real.
I hate it because even when you try to correct somebody offline, they don't like it. And
I know.
if you're respectful, they don't like it. And I try to critique offline because it's already a cesspool of bullshit online.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
sometimes people don't take that well either, because everyone thinks they know everything, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I do want to see more black BDSM and more black erotica across the board. I don't care if it's paranormal or whatever. I want to see it across the board. I don't want anybody to be ashamed because they black that they can't go too far. Why not?
Yeah, that reminds me of yes, Professor Hendricks, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of the backlash that it got. And what made me laugh a little bit is that you realize just how much people don't know. Because if you tiptoe over into white erotica spaces, well, there's very few lines they won't cross.
Very,
There's very few
very
lines they
few.
won't cross. If you do one of those BDSM personality tests or whatever, some of those questions, you'll be like, huh? Is people into this? Is people into
Mm-hmm.
that? Is people doing this? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's a lot in that rabbit hole. And so that's why even if something is not for me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't I'm not gonna shame it. You
Yeah.
know, if things as long as things are painted consensually and things like that in the books, it don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be for me to necessarily enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
that's one of my big things in erotica because people, oh, they was, men were letting anal things happen to them in the book. Like, hey, you don't have to want to play in a man's behind to enjoy a book. I'm not about to go get in a highway shootout, but I'm about to read an urban fiction book where it's some highway shootouts, and I'm gonna start feeling like I could pull up with the blick too, and I could spray everything down. But as a whole, no, I don't want to experience everything I read in my books, but I enjoy a well written book at the end of the day.
I think people need to let fiction be fiction and just enjoy it. That's
That's it.
that's it. So how does writing about pleasure and agency, softness and desire become an act of resistance for us as black people?
I think you made a good point about our history and
Mm.
historically, as Black people, men and women, our bodies have been taken from us.
Yes.
Deep in our history, our bodies have never been ours. We have been taken from our homeland. We have been forced into slavery. We
Mm-hmm.
have been forced into labor. We have been forced into sex work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like writing erotica and writing Black erotica, where the theme is you get to decide how you enjoy pleasure. It says that our bodies are our own,
Mm-hmm.
right? We get to own our bodies, we get to own our sex, we get to own our pleasure and our intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's amongst each other and other people. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I feel like it's really important to write these books.
Yeah.
Because also a little nasty don't hurt nobody.
It don't.
It
It
just really
probably
don't.
make people more kinder.
If
Uh,
we're being honest. Yeah.
yeah. For both black women and black men, what do you think healthy representation of desire and emotional safety and vulnerability can offer that the mainstream romance often fails to deliver?
I think in the mainstream portion of romance, so there's a lot of great trad releases and things
Mm.
like that. But do you remember when 50 Shades of Grey had his big awakening and its big welcome to the big screen? And
Yeah.
like, remember how much backlash it got? And it really wasn't that nasty.
No, it
It was actually looking back and having being older and doing research and getting more into that space, you realize how vanilla that was when it hit our screens, right?
yeah.
And there was a lot of backlash for it. I just, I think the world is still not prude but very conservative,
Hmm.
and consensual sex threatens patriarchy as well.
Mm.
Women being painted as beings who get to choose pleasure and choose what's done with their bodies and how they use their bodies, it
Mm.
absolutely threatens the construct of patriarchy and dominance and control. And so I
Mm.
think it's going to take a lot more for us to see really good erotica in the mainstream.
Well, one, we have to get out the decrepit old white men.
Yeah.
Two, we have to get the women who are docile and complacent in patriarchy. And three, we have to get our brothers unbrainwashed. And four, we have to get our women to believe that their bodies are their own.
Yeah, and look how that's like you said a mouthful. That's a whole lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
That it just takes a lot of heavy lifting. And like you said, I don't think we can wait for um white entities to
Mm-mm.
push us forward. Like I don't think I can't foresee. I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong about it, but um I think the indie space has done a lot in terms of Enigma and Winston Hills in this series that I don't think would have happened in a trad space, honestly. Cause I pushed some boundaries and some lines,
Yeah.
and comfortably so, and I didn't paint the intimacy with like really nasty tropes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so I just think like that's why the indie space is also important because we can tell stories that people otherwise wouldn't push forward into the right eyes. And mind you,
Mm.
my target audience is Black people.
Mm.
I want Black people to read my books. If non-Black people read them, thank you. I
Mm.
appreciate that. If you enjoy it, I love that for you. But I'm writing books for us.
Yeah.
I'm writing books for people that look like me. And so that is the thing. Like I know it can be a dream to go trad and
Mm.
get in Barney's and Noble and, Books a Million and all kind of stuff. But I think like our stories in indie spaces are very important as well.
Mm. So when you talk about dominance and submission and consent and power dynamics, how do you push beyond the surface level tropes, and explore like things with emotional intelligence and respect for all parties involved?
Oh, so the first thing is like when people think of dominance and submission, they immediately apply a man to a
Yeah.
dominant role. And I just don't think that's always the case.
It's not.
There are, well, I'm gonna be honest, there are a lot of men who like to submit.
Yes.
Lo- like is not even love to.
Yes.
Love to be told what to do, love to be guided, love to be dominated. And so in Ascension, I leaned heavily into that trope. And
Mm.
then when I introduced another female character in Ascension, she wanted to submit, but she was not there for the pain. There are people who like pain in their
Mhm.
submission, but there are people who are more into sensory play. And so even having conversations about what it means to put somebody on their knees, that's an act that has to be done safely, right? You
Yeah.
have to know somebody's history and be sure that they feel safe being on their knees and things like that. So I did a lot of asking questions and poking around and doing some research.
Yeah.
Because like I said, BDSM, especially the dom and sub stuff, they always consider a man dominating a woman and she's submitting to his every will and his every whim. But dominance is a form of submission. If your sub doesn't trust you to submit to you, that power structure will never work.
Hmm.
And if your job as a dom is to make sure your sub feels safe doing those things for you. And so a lot of people go into these roles very ego driven.
Mm.
Um, and they never fully capture the joy and beauty in the dynamics in the power trades and things like that. So I really wanted to show a man who is strong outside of the bedroom, in the community, in the workforce, amongst family and friends. But behind closed doors, he wanted to relinquish all of that power.
Mm.
And he trusted her to guide him, and she never took it for granted. So, I thought that was, kind of sexy because as a woman, I love when a man just be quiet and listen. Just shh, shh, I got it.
I think what dominance, people fail to understand that dominance, the power within dominance is the respect from submission. And
Yes.
your job is to make sure that your submissive feels safe, that even the smallest tick on their face means something. You
Mm-hmm.
When people say explore someone's body, a dominant doesn't explore your body. They actually explore you from your body to your soul. They know you
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. And
Mm-hmm.
before you even get to the sexy, people don't understand when you're a dominant and you're in a BDSM situation, it is 90% mental,
Absolutely.
10%, maybe even 5% sexual or physical. The mental part, I know a lot
It
of people
drives
have
everything. It drives everything. It drives the
it drives
sex. It drives
everything.
the trust. It drives your ability to relinquish control and everything. Like
Hmm.
mentally, if you're not locked in
Hmm.
this power structure, you'll find yourself locked out of it. It'll
Yeah,
never work. It'll just be constant tug of war. So yeah, that's why I say I want more people to familiarize themselves.
yeah.
Research, find a good dom, a good sub who understands the life, the culture, the consent and the safety, and ask
Mhm.
them questions. Because even in some of the books we read, I'm sure you've read some books with BDSM themes, and you were
Mhm.
like, "Ooh, they could have researched this a little better."
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, I had a reader, respectfully DM me that about Enigma. It was like, I think you should have put more consent on the page, and it's like, you know what? That's fair. I
Hmm.
can I could take that criticism.
Yeah.
Um, you gotta be open to learn. You don't know what you don't know until somebody helps you learn it. So
It's a lot of people don't understand that sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years before there's actually physical contact because they are mentally getting to know each other. Plus, there's
yeah,
contracts that have to be put in place. There's a lot. It's a lot to get to knowing before you
yeah,
even get to that
yeah,
place.
it is. It is. Yeah.
So, do you feel like Black authors are uniquely positioned to reframe what healthy power exchange looks like in a relationship, romantically, sexually, emotionally? Why or why not?
Oh, absolutely. I think we're in a position, right? We're in a position to tell our stories and tell them in a healthy way. Like, now, do I love a good toxic romance where it's a
Mhm.
lot of back and forth, and you know the man might not be shit, but he grow into it? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
there's space for us to tell our stories where um you're like, hey, this is the right way to go about this. And I think when it comes to, if you're going to step into BDSM and other lifestyles,
Mhm.
you have a responsibility to paint the picture properly and safely. Because if we're being honest, when readers get invested in stuff,
Mhm.
they are invested,
Yeah.
right? And so I just felt like when I write these books, I do have a responsibility to try to be as educated as possible on things that we otherwise don't see a lot of in the space. I just,
That's
that's
what you
just
do.
me. And I'm not saying every time you write something, you got to be clicking on Google or seeking out people to help educate you. I'm just saying when you get to those sensitive subjects, um, the responsibility is there to present the information as truthfully and safely as possible.
I mean, shit, I was just Googling how many fingers does it take to stroke a pussy right to make it fucking squirt. I mean, if you gotta
What
do
did
research,
Google say?
it was like seven different
Se-
seven, seven, seven different ways. I was like, oh, I got choices.
yeah,
So I look, if you gotta do research, do that shit.
do
Um,
it.
how
Yeah.
do you how how do you see the patriarchy shaping the way Black women experience shame around sex, desire, or just pleasure in general?
It's funny. I think you see it a lot. For example, you can look at celebrities and the way that celebrities break up
Mm,
and how much shame is put on the woman, right?
mm,
What didn't she do right? What did she do wrong? She wasn't a good enough wife, a good enough girlfriend. I could see why he cheated, why he did this. Or, she left and she went and got with somebody else. Oh, she a
mm.
hoe. The divorce ain't final. She with somebody else. Like,
Oh God.
we just have for so long been shamed. for any decisions we have chosen to make with our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and even non-sexually walking away from a relationship. Why are you leaving? That's a good man. Why you doing that? Why you unhappy? Why you unhappy? Y'all women ain't never happy. Y'all just always want. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like the shame is just so intense. And so in my books, you're not gonna be shamed for wanting to be in a polycule. You're not.
No, you
You're
shouldn't.
not. Everybody, it's all consensual. You're not gonna be shamed for wanting to experience your first threesome. You're not going to be shamed for being bi curious. You're not going to be shamed for being attracted to a bisexual man, because this is the kind of stuff we see that patriarchy does. And,
Yeah.
even women give into it. Like I see my husband in the comments talking about Google AI is freaky. But there's just so much shame with everything we
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the things we like, and it's all because we've been socialized that way.
Mm.
Even with bisexual men, you can't be bisexual. If you sleep with a man, you gay. Huh? That man still could still tear some pussy down. What are we talking about here?
Sex is fluid. Sex is fluid.
You know what
But
I'm saying? It's just we just been socialized so bad that patriarchy and white men,
mm-hmm.
white people, because they started it, right? White people and their religion have done such a number on themselves and us
Mm-hmm.
that it's everything is shameful, except for
Yeah.
if you're them, except for if you're the person in power. Nothing you do is shameful. Because look at our government. You could be flying to an island to do God knows what with who
Mm.
knows who. It
Mm.
ain't nothing shameful about that.
Right.
But a
That
woman who
part.
want a threesome, a hoe, please.
I'd rather give you a hoe with pleasure than a PDF on an
Yeah,
island with a bunch of other PDFs.
lying about it, and the
Right.
records exist.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you believe sexual guilt in the black community is tied to generational trauma, religious conditioning, or survival politics? And how does your writing challenge that whole fucking narrative?
Oh, absolutely. So one thing, I'm never here to bash the church or people's religion or their spirituality, but I am here to tell the truth that a lot of what is preached in the church is respectability politics. It is
Mm-hmm.
meant to, well, don't be a hoe. You want to find your man that wants you. It'll be as pure as possible. And when you get that man, you need to fuck him the way he want to be fucked. Because if you don't fuck him the way he want to be fucked, you telling him he can go fuck the way he want to fuck elsewhere outside of you while you wait at home for him to come back. And don't you dare think about leaving or doing something else. Like there's so much guilt for women wanting to be happy. Let me say that women are we're guilted into being miserable
Facts.
a lot of time in life, and miserable sexually, miserable in the goals we have, our professions, our hobbies, how we raise our kids. There's
Mhm.
just always so much guilt, and I think a lot of it does come from the church, which is ironic because the freakiest niggas you're gonna ever find
In the
be in
pulpit.
that pulpit, dressed like a drug dealer,
Mm.
huh? Be in there
Imagine.
eating pussy after church hours in the. Never mind. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Imagine.
Forgive me. But I do think that we're seeing a new day, because you could deal with a lot more shit in life when you having good orgasms.
Facts. Daily. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Facts.
you sleep better, your skin better. Them kids might be tearing up your goddamn house, but you like, child, whatever. I'll pick them
Be
toys up
floating.
later.
Be
Okay,
floating.
everything. Life, you're equipped to handle life better when you understand what pleasure is.
It ain't nothing like a nigga telling you to get some get right and giving you the get right and you get right.
Hey, a little dick to start your morning off, because you know them
Man.
white folks gonna get on your nerves when you get to work.
Amen. 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 So let's talk about Enigma.
Let's talk about it.
All right, yo FMC. Well, shit. Which one? Let me take that back. What's her name? Leana.
Leanna,
Leana.
Leanna, uh-huh.
Leana is she is a very powerful woman, accomplished woman who still feels emotionally hollow after
Mm-hmm.
grief. What
Mm-hmm.
what did you want readers, especially black women, over 35? Nothing against you young cats, but fuck y'all. I ain't talking about y'all. To see in her journey.
Um, you know, I've been privy to what it looks like, not personally, but around me, for women to have to start over again after they lose a spouse. And all of the time they are left wondering, who am I now without
Mm,
this person? Who am I now? What do I want? I
mm-hmm,
just spent umpteen years with this person and they're gone. And the trajectory of my life has been reconfigured. What
mm.
do I do now? And the first thing that came to mind was whatever the fuck you want to do. That was what it was. And so when I'm getting to a point where, the conversation about reader spaces and author spaces comes up a lot. Prior to releasing Enigma, I was in a lot of the Facebook groups, the urban fiction groups, the erotica groups, and things like that. Those are reader spaces.
Mm-hmm.
They are for readers,
Mm-hmm.
right? I found myself having to leave once I became an author because there were women pissed at me that Leanna and Caleb got together. I would hunt my nigga from the grave if he moved on with my friend.
I would rather be a friend
Oh,
than a motherfucking stranger. Somebody
they
you
say they
trust.
they say they're gonna come back. They would have haunted Caleb's ass for getting with Leanna. And I said, no offense, but everybody dead.
Uh,
Shit. Everybody
uh,
dead. You still got to live. And who better to usher you into a new type of love and romance than somebody wealthy,
mm-hmm,
somebody y'all
mm-hmm,
both got grown ass kids,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
y'all free to move about and enjoy life as you choose, right? And statistically, I did my research. That's the engineer in me. I need to know the stats. Statistically, most widows move on with somebody close to them. They rarely ever go out and meet somebody brand new and start dating again. It's somebody that they know, somebody they're comfortable with.
I think Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm sorry before I even open my mouth, but I think a lot of readers who say things like that, it's because they're used to the old school version of women where your whole identity was in a man. And
Yeah.
without that man, you have no identity outside of that. So you
Yeah.
stay lonely, heartbroken, and sad. Now, there's nothing wrong with if that is your choice. But a
Correct.
lot of times people do that based on what society tells them to do, not because that's something they want to do. And then a lot of people lead in fear. They live in fear, they lead in fear. So
They
they
love and
they
fear
love and fear
everything.
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 So
Everything is possession. Mine, mine,
everything.
mine. Yeah.
So without that I guess foundation for them, they don't know how to build on it.
No, they don't.
And they
I'm gonna
really
tell
don't know
you,
how to find themselves.
if I go before my husband, all I need him to do is go sprinkle my ashes around a Louis Vuitton store and then go meet you a nice woman and have
Mm.
some sex. That's it. You cannot live for me. I am gone.
Mm-hmm.
Live for yourself. Cause it's already hard enough when you
Mm-hmm.
lose somebody you love. As much as people be like, oh, they going to a better place, death is hard to deal with when you wanted the person still there.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to me, go live your life. Go live your life. God willing, these kids is grown and gone. Find joy and find happiness. Do
That
not live with a broken heart.
that kills more people than a little bit.
Absolutely.
People die of broken hearts because they can't find themselves anymore because they have invested so much into this relationship
Absolutely.
and their experience that they literally can't find their way out of it. They're just stuck
Yeah,
in it.
they get stuck. Yeah, they get stuck and they don't know how to reimagine their lives. So for me, I've wanted Leanna and Caleb to reimagine their lives because let's be honest, they're empty nesters. They're empty nesters. And they understood the grief and the loss. They was attractive as hell. They had good jobs. The money was flowing. If I'm a rebound, let it be on an exotic island. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the relationship between Leanna and Caleb lives, well, it lives in complicated emotional territory.
Yeah.
Grief, loyalty, guilt,
Mm-hmm.
desire, lust,
Mm-hmm.
nastiness, and all that. So, how do you approach writing a love that isn't clean but still deeply human?
Because I in this book I wanted people to question why it wasn't clean,
Mm,
right? Like I made it very clear that they had never looked at each other in that capacity prior to them becoming widowed, right?
mm-hmm,
So there was nothing dirty there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, you know, nothing, no lines have been crossed and things like that. So it's like I enjoy writing a situation where it makes you question, like, is this wrong?
mm,
Is it wrong? Because I feel like it could be wrong because they were so close, but I really can't tell you why it's not clean. I can't tell you. And so
mm,
I enjoy that because people, like I said, people grapple with that. I had some people I was like, hell no, I better not move on with my friend. And I had some people like, now that you mention it, if they had to move on, let it be with somebody that I know cares about them and loves them
right.
and love me and wants to see them happy. Like people had a range of emotions about that relationship.
Mm.
Yeah, they had a range of emotions.
So, with Dana and Amir adding to this whole situation,
Cause they thought Dana was on some bullshit. They say,
the
man,
way
what is
the way she hugged her and sniffed her like shit, I'll munch the shit out your shit. Give me a chance, bitch. Give me a chance. I look that one line when she said she sniffed. Oh, she wanted the pussy. She wanted the pussy.
she
I
did?
knew from right there. But them coming in to that situation and you exploring so many different power dynamics with those couples, how was it for you to keep track of who, what, when, and where?
There's a lot of rewriting. There's a lot of going back and making sure I wasn't one being repetitive, and
Mm-hmm.
two, since I was introducing the dynamic of a polycule and not just sexually,
Mm-hmm.
because sexually, yeah, sure, it could be a free for all, but if they're interested in getting to know each other outside of sex, they have to be comfortable having interactions that aren't always together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Caleb needs to reconnect with Dana. Yes, they may have dated briefly in high school, but these are two different versions of each other now. So they need to reconnect. And a part of polycules and polyamory life is people having their own relationships within the system,
Mm-hmm.
right? Figuring out, can this work? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I like three of the four people and can't stand the fourth, we're going to hit some conflict. So I wanted to be sure that these relationships were explored individually. And then even when they got together, it was a good ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good ass time for me too. My husband thanks you. He thanks
Yeah,
you a lot.
that makes me very happy.
I was like, shit, I need to try some of this shit.
This book made me realize we don't have a lot of black play clubs.
No, no. There's one in
And
Vegas. There's some in Atlanta. There's about to be one up in Chicago. Um, there's some in California, but they're secretive for black because, and I'm gonna tell you
yeah,
why. It's very secretive for black because when it's open and you allow white people to come into black spaces, they
they
tend
go
to just
they gonna it's gonna get fucked up. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I was just watching Sinners this weekend, and my favorite takeaway is that as soon as white people bring some shit to our feet, it's always some bullshit.
yeah, 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 yeah.
One in Durham. Okay,
I've
yeah.
never been to the one in Durham.
I'm not too far from Durham, so I might have to grab Mr. CM and move and shake a time or so.
I think a lot of times we try to be too friendly in spaces. We be too friendly,
We too
welcoming.
inclusive. What we
Well,
inclusive for? We've been excluded
um,
for centuries. Why we so inclusive?
but I honestly will say this: a black munch in a black dungeon is nothing like. I mean, a true. Let me preference this: a true black dungeon, a true black munch is different from an inclusive munch
Mm,
or an inclusive dungeon. And if you want to know what a munch is, Google is free. Okay.
mm,
But that is part of BDSM lingo. Two, they're different. They're totally different. And I, being with like ladies who wear leather, going to a munch, they get fetishized, they get overly sexualized, and they are white people think they supposed to bow down to them immediately.
mm-hmm.
Immediately is a physical thing immediately, and that's men and women. So that's why I say, y'all need to be careful about where y'all be going
Yeah, absolutely.
and stay off of Fat Life. That is not for us. That is not for us. That is not for us. I will keep
Tell
it.
them again.
It is
Tell
not
'em
for
again.
us. Fat
So,
Life is not for us
yeah.
at all.
I really I can say this with my chest. When it comes to sex and intimacy, I really don't have a desire to share space with non-black people.
Mm,
It just is what it is. You know, I don't have to be inclusive with the things that arouse me and turn me on. Lord, no, I like what I like, and that's just what I like, and nobody gonna whip my ass about it. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I was taught by a dom in Japan when I was in the military, but it was an Asian man that taught me, and he taught me more than just the BDSM part aspect of it. But at the same time, I would never want a white person to teach me. And it's nothing. And I say this with all due respect. It's nothing against white people that do BDSM. It's just something that a POC can teach and understand, or a black person can't understand that a white person couldn't, and why it would
Yeah.
affect me in a way when it's said or done. And speaking of which, how do you, as an author, when you write, you want to be my little slut? You when you want to be my little cum guzzling slut? Um, how do you write stuff like that and you make sure it's nasty, purposeful, and hits the mark without being disrespectful?
You know, I'm still not sure how I toe that line because some of the time I be writing and I be like, damn, uh, you gonna leave it? Okay. Like, but I feel like when you are building the story up, and you can do that by showing a good relationship and dynamic outside of the sex, right?
Mm,
Because when you see, when a Jaya is introduced, right? And she's just very unsure of what she wants, those men left her to figure it out.
yeah, Yeah.
They showed her that they value her beyond trying to get between her legs, right?
Mm.
And so I feel like those moments outside of the sex is where you can build up the fact that these men absolutely worship these women, love these women, adore
Mm.
these women, think the world of them. But in the bedroom, they taking them up, down, and through there every time.
Mm.
Every time they're gonna take them through there. But you know, after the sex, they willing to grovel and do whatever it takes to keep them women happy. They
Absolutely.
willing to open their wallet, open their hearts, open their minds, unlearn, learn, or whatever it takes. So I feel like in the bedroom, when you know that that respect and that adoration is there, um, you can get knee deep into your pleasure.
Mm.
Yeah.
But Enigma also balances humor, sensuality, and deep emotional healing. And I like the fact that you put in there that he decided to go to grief counseling, and so did she.
Yeah.
Um, why was it important for you to show that joy can coexist with grief and also be a way to explore sexuality in a way without feeling guilt?
Um, humor wise, I like you get to know me. I'm just very silly,
Mm.
which is why people around me were so shocked that I wrote such an erotic book
Mm.
because I'm gonna let the jokes fly.
Mm.
But like when Angel hung his mama on that hook because she was playing too damn much,
That shit
that
had
shit
me
is so funny,
cackling.
money. It's funny to me. But then the other side of trauma is triumph if you actually do the work.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get beyond your trauma, a lot of times you will absolutely experience triumph. And I just think that the black community, and we you just asked about the church,
Mm-hmm.
get so anti get help, right? Just pray it
Mm.
away. Let God heal it. And yes, you can pray. Prayer is very purposeful.
Mm.
Prayer is purposeful, but doing the work is too, and getting the right type of help, right? You got
Yeah.
to combine all of those things together to successfully get back to your joy. So I
Yeah.
am a proponent of going to therapy, going to counseling, unpacking shit, getting it off your plate, getting it off your chest, getting it off your shoulders, and giving it to somebody who can help you figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And if ever there was a time to go and get help, it would absolutely be losing your spouse of
Yeah.
all these many years that you've raised kids with.
Yeah. And the the aspect of getting help is phenomenal. I want more books to include that when it comes to
Yeah,
grief and things like that. But with prayer, the problem with prayer with our people, and I mean our people
yeah,
is y'all don't know how to pray, let it go, and instead of keeping it like it's a fucking addiction and continuing on to press on the same fucking prayer. Y'all don't know how to let it go and let it live and then build on the attention by doing the work.
yeah, yeah,
That's the problem. They want the prayer and the benefits of the blessing without the work that it entails, and that includes therapy. That includes really sitting in on yourself and evaluating your own faults. That
absolutely.
that right there. That's why I love that representation of therapy.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm always going to send people to therapy in my books because I think a part of HEAs, happily ever afters, and characters getting them at times is them getting to be happy mentally
Mm.
and them getting to heal, right? Not just get the love you always wanted, get the healing that you wanted too. Get
But
the
some
healing that you want.
people
Because
sometimes healing is always based on somebody else.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's well, I see you got your preacher hat on today. I like that. I'm here for that as well. Yeah. Yeah, healing is a self journey. It is a self journey. And so again, and these characters are older. You
Mm-hmm.
stumble through some of this stuff in your when you're younger, right? In
Yeah.
your 20s, even your early 30s. But I feel like being in my 40s, there I am intentional about my own healing. I'm
Mm,
intentional about, like you said, holding my own self accountable and my mistakes and looking myself in the mirror when I know I could have done better, but I didn't do better.
mm,
And so I feel like I'm gonna write that in these books.
mm.
I know that I don't want to see a bunch of 40 heading towards 50-year-old characters not understanding the importance of mental health and healing.
Yeah.
It would feel a little empty at that point because now you just an old ass fool, and I know a lot of them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when trauma bonding and guilt go unhealed, what do you believe they make room for in relationships? And how does that show up with your couples?
Um, it makes people incomplete,
Mm,
right? Because there's a hole where healing could actually be taking place, but you are not healing. And so you are trying to band aid it with maybe just getting with this person, and neither of y'all have fully accepted that we like each other. This is something special. And so the bond is incomplete at that point.
mm,
And I didn't want that for Caleb and Leanna. I even made it so that they couldn't continue to hide it from their kids. Like that was
mm.
an overarching theme in the beginning of the book. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta tell the kids about this. There ain't gonna be too much more creeping and sneaking. We too old to be creeping and sneaking. And so when you feel guilty about something, you really can't enjoy it to its fullest potential.
Mm,
You may be able to enjoy it in that moment, but let's be honest, healthy love is not just momentary.
mm.
It's love that you can enjoy even when
Wait,
that
wait.
person is
Run
not
that back.
around.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah,
Run it back.
yeah, healthy love is not momentary. It's not just in that moment, in that now. It takes place even when that person is not in the room with you.
Mm,
You can enjoy that love that y'all are building and that's blossoming. So, I was like, no, they're not going to be creeping and sneaking and hiding forever. I understand it's not easy to explain something like that to your adult children, but these grown ass kids is out the house and having their own relationships and situations. You're not going to be a prisoner to your guilt.
mm.
Yeah, I
Now,
didn't want that for them.
now I want to talk about how Concrete and Cadence and the Winston Hills, you never made women that were what everybody made skinny ass bitches. You made them average size, plus size women. Why was that important to put in the book?
Um, because I've been plus size all my damn life, and I honestly don't foresee it not me ever being a thin woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is not my standard of beauty. For me, is to just be healthy, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
say get up, go to the gym, but my standard of beauty is not small and
Mm-hmm.
thin. It's beautiful, and so plus size women get loved every day.
All the time,
Not
all
just,
every
not
day.
just, not just fucked,
Ain't
not
nothing
just
wrong with
put through the
being fucking.
mattress,
I
but
like fucking.
loved,
Well, that
doted
too.
on,
Yeah, yeah.
bills paid, every need and desire prioritized and taken care of. And so I really wanted that because I know a lot of bossed up plus size women who they got a man running behind them making sure they happy.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I can tell you right now, my alpha man spoiled the fuck out of me. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I, I don't I don't have to worry about shit. And I'm a dominant ass motherfucker. And he give me the princess treatment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I know exactly where you're coming from. Like, even this journey into writing was made easy for me because I had a partner who was very supportive of
mm-hmm,
it, right? Very proud, very, my husband has read every book that I've
mm-hmm,
put out, right? And I was like, You sure you want to read Awakening? Is the men is in there, they sword fighting and shit, they battling. He like, what the fuck that mean to me? I'm a straight man. That
Yeah.
me reading that is not gonna change the fact that I love you and I
Fact.
love women. So that has made even writing, having somebody that supports you and wants to see you win, um, made it very great to the point where we have used my husband as an editor, a developmental editor for a couple projects
Mm.
that we have coming in this 2 a.m. series.
Mm.
Um, because he tore my ass up with his notes.
Oh, damn.
He got my ass together. He like, this is good, but I think it could be better here. I think you could flesh this out here. I think you missing a voice that really set this story off right there. And I made his changes and I was like, damn, hello? This shit good. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And again, me, a plus size woman. I've not ever had to perform for the attention of a man. And I
Yeah.
wanted that to be extremely obvious in
Yeah.
these books that these plus size women have not had to perform for attention and intimacy and love and respect and care and kindness.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Candace.
Let's we here.
Candace is plus size. She's nerdy, which, by the way, thank you. Because there's not enough black nerdy girls and women in these books. So
Yeah.
she's
So
confident, though. She's confident. She's a confident woman who still struggles believing somebody loves her and that
abs
it's possible.
yeah. So funny story, Concrete and Cadence is loosely based on me and my husband.
Mm,
Um I am absolutely, the career, I'm a geotechnical engineer. I've made great strides in my profession. I'm the girl you come to see if you want to get some shit done at my job as it pertains to geotechnical engineering. So
mm,
very confident there, but society as a whole
mm.
for many years has made it so that plus size women are just fat. I don't give a damn if you pretty, you well dressed, you educated, you handle business, you take care of the community, you do this. Like so much has been hinged on our weight and what we don't deserve because
Yeah,
of it. When the fact of the matter is, ain't nothing wrong with it.
it's
Ain't
not
nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And you deserve the same level of love and respect any other woman deserves.
facts.
Yeah, and so she was very nerdy and a little awkward. I don't know if you ever meet some engineers, baby. They awkward.
So are biostem people
Yeah,
because I'm a STEM
awkward. Yeah, have a
biology.
hard time making eye contact in the room. Gonna go to the corner and be quiet and watch everything going on around you. So
Yeah,
it was like I wanted to paint that picture of her and Concrete. Like there was a time when my husband was rap. He wanted to be a rapper, but I say, hey, got to clean this up, brother. We going He was a rapper. He was really good at it. But we just kind of he's always been very very confident. And one of my favorite things, I've been in some bad relationships before we got together. To this day, I cannot tell you a single time like my husband has ever called me out of my name or anything like that. And when you are used to being in not so great relationships, you go in expecting to be treated not so great.
mm-hmm.
Like you are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's been all these years later. And I've never felt like, even in moments of disagreements, there's never been any poking or prodding at my weight or things about me that may be a point of contention for me. And it's sad to say, a lot of women don't get that treatment from their partners.
It's very sad.
A lot of women don't get that treatment when things are not going right. There are a lot of women who are subjected to their partners poking at the things that they know they could have some insecurities about.
Yeah,
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 and that's just not one of them. Like if my husband is upset with me, he's gonna tell me why he's upset with me.
yeah,
That's just gonna be that. But I've never felt like, him saying nasty things about me being plus size, because you love it every other day till you mad and shit
yeah,
like that. And that's how women are treated by their partners, sadly.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy because you're talking about plus size, and I on my spectrum is I'm plus size, but yet I'm muscular as shit, and so I get the oh she built like a nigga with a big booty. You know what I'm saying? She up here lifting weights. That's a nigga. But when you see me with my husband, you be like, oh damn, she girly as fuck.
We on Facebook together, and I said, "That's not my same storm that be under them TikTok lives, huh? When she get to showing out, dress be tight, heels be on. Okay, I say, oh, I see what this is. Okay, Miss put that shit on when it's time to.
And
Yeah,
my softness is for my man.
yeah,
Everybody else get what they get, but
mm-hmm,
he earned my
yeah,
softness. So I feel so comfortable being
yeah.
able to be in my skin, be who I am, feminine around him. Because there's a lot of times black women, we don't never get to be soft.
No, you
We
don't get to
always
be
have to
soft.
be hard. And when I met someone who can help me just feel safe and feel soft, you know how much relief that is to not have to walk around looking mean all day, not have
Yeah.
to walk around with a chip on their shoulder all day because you waiting for a motherfucker to say something.
Wait, yeah, no. It's a good feeling to be with somebody. Like, for example, I'll be honest, I have a lot of guilt in terms of parenthood because I have a really demanded career, right?
Mm,
And there are times when I'm traveling, I'm on the road, I'm gone for a week at a time. Um, I've never had to feel guilty about it from my partner. It's
mm-hmm,
like, hey, we're gonna be gone for a week. And he's like, okay, everything will fine, kids will be good. Step up that, or it'll be times I'm not cooking dinner today. All right,
mm,
well, I take it by the handle and things like that. Like, you are right. You get to be soft and you get to say, I'm tired. I just don't feel like it today.
mm-hmm,
That's it. It's nothing more, nothing bad has happened. I just get to be tired and I get to lean on somebody else and let them be the strength in the situation. And ultimately, I write my characters like that. I write
mm-hmm.
black women who deal with black men they can lean on and be
Because
soft
concrete
for.
was definitely someone to lean on.
He didn't play about her. Like, I talk about insta love. He's yep, that's mine, that's me, and she was running from his ass.
How did you navigate writing a male love interest who isn't emotionally closed off? Because we see that so much in real life, but you wrote one that isn't emotionally closed off, but instead emotionally layered.
Oh, I get to see those parts in my husband, right? I get to see what it looks like for somebody to say, I've gone through these things and they have impacted me, but I'm healing from them and I can communicate them and things like that. So, like, he's a good litmus test for
Mm,
how I wrote Concrete, because
mm,
he's not no super closed off person, and he's not just a brick wall and you gotta chip away at it to get information out. No, he's not that way. And so I just was like, Concrete. And you expect a rapper to be that way, a rapper who's
mm,
dealt with losing a parent and another parent who didn't seem to give a damn. You absolutely expected him to be a hard ass, a
mm,
womanizer, and
mm.
things like
Because
that.
he did have
And
swagger, though. He got
yeah,
swagger.
and so it's like, but behind closed doors, the same way we could be soft for our man,
Mm,
you want to be in a relationship with a partner who can be soft for you too.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
This,
he was soft for Cadence.
yeah. So this, okay, y'all. If y'all haven't read it, it's funny as fuck too. It's romantic. It is. It's. It's giving vulnerable, it's getting romantic, it's getting sexy, and it's giving funny. So, with that being said, what did you want readers to feel when they closed that final chapter? Did you want them to feel safety, hope, desire, or all of that?
I wanted them to feel all of it. I really did. I wanted them to, well, first off, the one thing about when you are writing erotica, readers will believe you are a one trick pony. And
Mm.
I believe that most erotica writers can take their pen somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's paranormal, if it's fantasy, if it's thriller, if it's suspense, because you do have to tap into a different place to get into erotica and make it good.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about sex, it is a skill set. It is a skill. It is not easy
I
to
just
write
want
good
to say
erotica.
you kind of got that skill. You
Thank you.
got that skill.
And so I was like, I'm going to try my hand at, a romantic comedy that's more traditional, but it's always gonna be spice on my pages.
Mm.
I'm never doing closed door spice. It's
Thank
never
God.
gonna happen.
My bad. My bad.
I'm never doing closed door romance and things like that. So the spice was there, but I was like, I feel like I could be a little funny and get some good jokes out. And me and my husband bounce jokes. We joke all the time to the point where my kids have comedic timing.
Mhm.
My daughter knows the right time to deliver something that's gonna make you be like, okay, all right, London, you won that round. So I was like, I want to bring this to a book. I want to bring it to a book
Mhm.
and see what happens. And
Yeah.
I like Concrete and Cadence. I like that series. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the next book. Because Lennox Lane is, they just so damn toxic for no reason. Lord, they gonna give each other the blues. I promise you.
Cause I'm gonna get to all that because I got between Winston Hills and that series. I need to know when all the rest of the motherfuckers gonna come drop. I know that now that I'm an author, I should not be asking you that because that's what readers do. But fuck that.
Yeah, Miss Author Lady, who the pen is talking to you again. I'm over there on that Substack. Don't worry, I'm
No,
over there.
this ain't about me. This is about you. So
I do have a release date for the last book in the Winston Hill series, which is Reverence, and that's April 6th.
okay.
Oh, that's April 6th. Lennox Lane is going to be coming in the late summer, I believe. It'll be
Okay.
coming in the late summer. Um, because you know, it's when you start adding book events to the list, it cuts into your writing.
Uh, who you telling?
Cuts into your writing.
I'm starting to
Yeah.
realize a lot of shit.
You don't get to read as much once you're writing.
I'm starting to realize a lot of shit.
You don't get to sleep as much when those characters are ready to
What is
come
sleep?
from your mind to the page. They wake up in 3, 4 in the morning because those characters are talking.
I be trying to dream about Javante Rhodes, but
Mm-mm. No, you feel mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's the time for book 2. Yeah.
speaking of books dropping, 206. Your new
206.
your newest project coming next month.
Mm-hmm.
What can you share with the class about that story, the themes, and what makes it different from your previous work or the same?
So LB Gaines, 3 months in the crowd, room 214.
Mhm.
um LB and I had a conversation and we decided we would do a group project, and just both two very new authors, and then my good friend DH Renfro, who did Creative Differences and Sky High. I felt like it was a good project for three new authors to collaborate on.
Mm-hmm.
So the theme is if they still can get you to kind of respond to a text at 2 a.m., it's not over yet. And so this whole series, which LB Gaines' book is out now, it dropped January 9th. They are romantic eroticas
Mm,
about second chances, about spinning the block.
mm,
Cause if you gonna spin the block, just park it and get out the damn car.
mm,
Now, just park it. And so 206 is about a former MLB player
mm,
who was injured due to a horrific accident. And at the time he was married, and you know, his resentment for having his career snatched away ended up in him and his wife getting divorced.
mm,
So they, all these years later, he's gotten his shit together. He's now, a Michelin star pastry chef. He's
mhm.
opening up a new bakery in a new city. He's on this dating app. And who does he come across but his ex wife's profile? But the thing is, she has a girlfriend now.
Mm.
She has a girlfriend. And he decides to swipe right anyways because he has never gotten over allowing his ex-wife to walk away from him, to get
Mm.
away from him in his divorce. So he's finna try to spin the block, but will she let him? Is the question.
Oh, I can't wait to read this. Um, you collaborated with other authors, as you mentioned.
Yes.
What was that experience like, creatively and emotionally, and what did that collaboration teach you about yourself?
Um, it taught me that I would love to collaborate more, actually. I would love to do it again because the thing about this series, and we've all read each other's books, is they are so sexy, but you can still see our personality shine through in these books,
Mm,
right? Like we didn't get lost in this being a group project. The overarching theme is the same. Second chance romance is sexy, it's erotic, but I can read 109 and be like, yep, that's LB Gaines, or read 123 and be like, yeah, that's DH Renfro. We didn't lose our voices in it. And
mm,
that made it extremely fun. And it taught me that I can collaborate, but keep my individuality in the pen that I have.
mm,
And so this 206 is not going to give you enigma, but the sex is so good in this book. I'm talking about, because we're talking about on a date nap. You meet somebody on a date nap. Malachi is his name. Malachi is recording jerk off videos with money shots and all kind of stuff. Like, just real taking it back to the day. You know what I'm saying? Because who don't love a good money shot?
oh
Who
God,
don't love a good money shot?
damn. Yeah, I'm ready for this one. I'm,
Yes.
I'm ready for this one. Shit. Woo. Um. So when readers finish your books, like all your books, let's say they read the whole catalog right now, what do you hope still lingers on with them emotionally?
I want them to be like, damn, I'm gonna add her to my favorite list. I want them to be like, she writes FMCs that
Mm,
we can relate to. They're vulnerable, okay, they're flawed, they're healing, they're beautiful, they're successful, okay,
mm,
they figuring shit out. Like
mm,
I want readers to see themselves in these books. Right?
mm,
That is really what I want. Like, do you see parts of yourself in these characters?
mm,
And I've gotten DMs from women like, Enigma, I have been working for the longest time to find myself sexually,
mm.
and Enigma was a safe space for me to be like, some of the things I read really turned me to hell on.
Yeah.
That 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 means everything to me. That means
Mm,
everything to me, that you can find a safe spot to land when you read my books.
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
I like that. Do you feel like you found your own signature voice yet, or are you still evolving into it?
I am still evolving.
Mm,
I feel like I have a ways to go because so new in the space, like so
mm,
very new. I released Enigma in May of 2025. So I'm still
mm,
just very new and figuring things out. But I think what matters is I want to do the work to keep evolving. For my pen and my progress to keep showing in each book. You know, I love when people be like, I liked Enigma, but I loved Awakening. I liked Awakening,
mm.
but I loved Ascension. Like, that, I love that because I am trying to grow and progress this pen, but I still have a good ways to go. 'Cause I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
working on it. Yeah.
So, black romance and erotica, even though it's not a lot, there's still enough right now, and
Yeah.
it's booming.
Yeah.
But the industry still undervalues our work. What changes do you want to see in publishing when it comes to visibility, marketing, and respect for Black authors?
Oh, so just the anybody who, you know, Storm, if you are considering going querying a book and trying to go trad, you almost got to be the second coming of Jesus to get your foot in the door. And the question is why?
Mm,
Why? Why? Because if we go and look at some of the white authors who are traditionally published and you can't blink without seeing a book in a Target, a Walmart, a Barnes and Nobles, shit don't be that great. There are black authors who could run circles around a lot of the traditionally published non-black authors
mm,
who are thriving in this space, and I think that's why we love to see the things that like Natasha Bishop is doing and J.L. Seegers and Kennedy
mm,
Ryan and Danielle Allen and Tati Richardson, because we know that was not handed to them.
mm,
They had to pound the pavement for those victories.
mm.
Um, but I don't think it should be that hard for
It
us
shouldn't.
to get in those spaces. I think it is unfair that it is so hard for us to get in more published spaces. And it's fighting tooth and nail to get our books in libraries and things like that. Like, it's very unfair to us, but I think the way we change that is how we're doing it now. We're doing so good in indie spaces that now people are starting to come to indie authors, and you
Mm,
see the boom of, you know, like you see what's going on with Jacquel, and you see
mm,
what's taking place with Granger and things like that. They built it brick by brick in the indie space. They didn't
mm,
necessarily go seeking, looking for white people to come and give them a trad deal. They just did the work in this space amongst their own people,
mm.
right? I'm
Yeah.
willing to build my shit brick by brick in this space amongst my
Facts.
own people, because Enigma is what it is. Winston Hills is what it is because of us,
Yeah.
black readers. So I'm not foaming at the mouth to run into the trad spaces and, you know, hope white people think what I'm writing is good enough, because my people already told me my shit's some fire.
I honestly think because I will never. I don't want to query because I'm not finna. I'm not going through that. And I'm just not going through that. Um, but I think black people ain't got shit to prove.
We don't.
We don't have shit to prove in our space or their space. We just are. Somebody said it's a quote in my book where I say black women. I said women carry the world on their backs, but black women carry galaxies in their back pockets.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why we should not be getting those same deals, but we intimidate everyone because we carry everything.
Yeah.
So I
Be-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because we thrive in this space without needing those deals.
Mm-hmm.
Because Casey Mills has been a powerhouse for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she publishes traditionally, but she was building a blueprint way before that. Like, we do so much independently, and it, like you said, it intimidates non-black people when we are able to say, we don't necessarily, I don't need your approval, and I don't need your cosign to be great.
No, no, we got too much talent in
Yeah.
our pinky toes. We got too much talent.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: how do you protect your piece and your brand without getting pulled into like the constant bickering and drama and discourse that sometimes can be draining, even over the internet?
Mm. Um, I realize that a lot of people engagement farm,
Mm,
and the saying that any publicity is good publicity,
mm,
it's never been more true than on social media, where everybody wants to go viral, where
mm,
everybody feels like they're one viral moment away from a big break.
mm.
So in the bookish space, you know, there was just an author talking about, my book is not typical urban fiction. It's a this or that. It ain't no struggle love. It's not those.
What the fuck
That's
is struggle
engaged.
love?
Yeah, that's engagement farming, right? Those books are not being read, and so even if I gotta drum up some negative publicity, I'm gonna get you to hate talk me right into relevance, and I ignore a lot of that shit. I really do. I ignore a lot of that shit. I'm not giving in to that. Black romance is black romance. Urban fiction, even if the FMC and the MMC got a little struggle of, even if they land softly and the conflict is family, if they drug dealers, if they doctors, if they lawyers, if they play football or hockey or rugby, I'm reading it. If
Yeah,
it's paranormal, if it's fantasy, if you got angels, if you got demons, you got fairies, fays, thems and theys. If it's black romance, I'm getting into it. I don't give a damn. Suspense, thrillers, give it here. Give it
and
here.
I want everybody, including you, to stop saying struggle love,
Yeah,
because that in itself is a microaggression, and I think
it
that
is.
every person in this world who has relationships go through ups and downs.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely a
Absolutely.
microaggression, and that's why I say, like, sometimes as black people we have to be cognizant of words we take and how we use them, because like you said, what race of people don't have relationship issues?
Right.
What race of people don't have relationship issues? What books have you read, either in black romance or traditional white romance, interracial romance, where you are not, a bulk of those stories don't include romantic conflict?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Romantic conflict in romance books is
That's what it is.
a standard for the most part.
But that's life, though. That's life.
Yeah.
I always say fiction sometimes has a little nugget of realism in it. Not all of it, because some of y'all some delusional hoes. I'm sorry. Some of y'all real delusional about these fictional characters, and y'all need to touch some grass and seek Jesus real quick. The Jesus is waiting on you, bitch.
Be- uh,
But
because these AI interviews with book characters, y'all is scaring the hoes away.
wait, what? Wait. Okay, wait, hold on.
Hmm. Yeah, y'all scaring the hoes
What
away.
the fuck is an AI interview with a fictional character?
Yeah, the girls are taking book characters, like the visuals from the books, and using AI to have them giving real interviews. Like they're being interviewed and they're answering. Like, y'all scaring the hoes away. Don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's just use a visual and move around. Let it be static. I don't need it moving. Enough is enough. It's too much for Elmo. It's too much. Yeah.
Okay. This is why I have to pull back from the internet, because y'all bitches are delusional as fuck. I'm gonna need y'all to get some toys, some real dick or pussy, if that, or both. I don't know, but I just
Go to Winston Hills.
Yeah, I just need y'all to have a come to Jesus moment. They not real,
Just
y'all. They
they
not
not
real.
real.
They're not real.
They're not real. And I just want to say authors don't owe you nothing. You
Not a
there, let me
goddamn
tell you
thing.
something. If I intended to put a book out on this date and it didn't happen on this date, I ain't took no money from you.
Mm.
I don't owe you no book box. I just ain't gonna put it out on that date. Don't you dare drag your lumpy booty ass in my mentions talking about where the book at. It ain't ready. It's not ready. I'm not feeding nobody bullshit. Authors don't owe people anything when it comes to this book space. Don't like mm-mm.
I want y'all to understand there's a thing called grace and empathy.
Yeah.
And people have lives outside of book talk, bookstagram, threads, all that stuff. Writing, shit happens, things go on. It just happens. It's life. It's life. And the government that we're living in, you never know what could be transpiring. So I just really feel like, you know, we in this space have lost, and this is just not the black side, it's the white side too.
Oh yeah.
We
And I
have
want to
lost.
say a lot of y'all don't have enough of a grasp on the English language to always be accusing people of using AI.
I know good and
Uh,
goddamn well y'all understand what an M dash and an N dash is. If you did not learn that in school, I blame your parents and your teachers. I learned that in third fucking grade. Shakespeare has M dashes, and
it's
that
a
nigga been dead for centuries.
it's a witch hunt. It's very nasty. It's giving very much crab in the barrel, scarcity mindset. Uh, because a lot of y'all are not good at filling out job applications.
But it also says, since y'all like to put that label on black authors, do
Mm.
y'all know how you make other people look at us? Because basically you're saying we are not intelligent or creative enough to come out with a best-selling book or a book in general, because it got to be AI, because you don't understand the fundamentals of a plot, a structure, an M dash, an N dash, a period, a punctuate, or nothing. Because you don't understand it and the masses say that is wrong, you and your damn hive mind go, they right. I didn't see it, but they right. You're dumb.
Mm.
You're dumb as fuck. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox because Nicole and probably gonna be in here cuss me out. I ain't bring my phone in here, so she probably
Mm.
cussing me out.
I just wanted to say that is you do such a disservice to black authors when you do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is highly unfair. It, like you said, is saying we are not capable of writing that good, that great. We're not capable of engaging you and pulling you so deeply into this story that we had to exercise a tool to get you there. And I'ma just be honest with you. You sound crazy than a motherfucker.
Crazy.
Please go
On my
sit
soul,
down.
they do. On my soul,
Yeah,
they
go
do.
sit down. Because they've been on witch hunts it's been
For the
several times,
last
and
year.
yeah, and I hate it over fucking M dash.
For
You should be upset about all them goddamn comma splices. Let me just tell you, I give a lot of grace when it comes to errors and things in books, especially indie writing. I don't know that people really understand how expensive editing is. I
expensive
don't
as fuck.
understand if people understand that there are different type of editors, and that when you do get traditionally published, the reason why they cut into those royalties the way that they do is because a lot of the money is going into things like editing and marketing and promo and graphics and this
Exactly.
and that in the third. Like, it is so very expensive. Editing is so expensive that most priceless after 75,000 words, they tell you to email them. You got to get a custom price because that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of words you trying to get people to read and review and look over.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
right now, my developmental editor, Tylee bless her soul, she be telling me if you don't put them M dashes back,
Yeah, I shout out to Chandra, aka Poppin' Pages, who is embarking on her journey as an editor. Baby, she be tearing our ass up. She's saying now all these goddamn comma splices. If you don't put a period, because I swear I ran across a conversation on Threads, and it was a post with a ton of comments. And the people was like, yeah, when the sentence is not long enough, I know people using AI. When I tell you subconsciously, I started throwing comments every which way but fucking
Same,
loose.
same. And that's why
When that damn sentence don't need to be 57 words. Park it. Shit. Put a period on it. Start a new sentence.
when Tylee got my first, when she got my book, she said, I knew you had M dashes in here. Why did you take them out? I said, because these motherfuckers talk about his AI, so I ain't want to fucking deal with that shit.
Oh yeah.
She sent that back with highlighted.
And it's so funny I'm saying because I'm saying this as a college educated woman, as somebody with a
Same.
master's degree and has started PhD work and shit like that. As authors, we have to be very careful about allowing people to get in our head.
Yeah.
That's why I don't read reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
If somebody asks me with a glowing review, I thank them. I don't go searching for my reviews. However you
Mm-hmm.
feel about this book after I put it out, that's between you and your God and everybody
Mm-hmm.
Godspeed. And I even, when I see it, because Threads is not a author space or a reader space, it's just social media. So you're gonna come if
That
your
is a
timeline,
hellhole.
yeah, if your timeline and your algorithm is curated to bookish things, you will see people discussing your books and things, and it won't always be glowing. And in instances like that, I'll mute the person. You
Mm-hmm.
hated Enigma, cool, mute, block. You don't have to see me on your timeline, and I don't have to see you on mine.
Yeah.
It just shit happens like that. Shit happens.
I've been on
Yeah.
my Hunger Games trip. I have blocked 250 people this year. And I'm not finished, you know what I'm saying? Because the minute y'all get to drama and get to talking about M dashes or starting shit, guess what I do?
I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you because if you don't have actual receipts, you should just shut the fuck up and leave that. Keep it to yourself. Even if you feel like that, keep it to yourself. You don't deserve to ruin somebody's reputation on assumptions when you are not an English scholar.
Mm.
And even people with English degrees cannot be good editors. Editing is a skill set
That some people just don't have.
that requires education and time in the game and things like that. So I just from one author to another, if you've seen it, that's my biggest thing. Don't let nobody get in your mind as an author.
Yeah.
Cause you can
Uh,
get discouraged very easily being in the space because you gotta promote yourself.
mm-hmm.
You got to be present in the book space. You got to be present. You got to be bringing your authentic self to the book space and connecting with readers and building a reader base. So you're going to see negative things. Don't
Absolutely.
let it don't let it get in your head, honestly.
I have I have come to the conclusion in 2026, y'all. I have come to this conclusion. Last year I was just cussing you hoes out on a regular fucking basis because I didn't give a fuck. But as my PR person told me, I have a brand. And I have to
Yeah.
be conscious of that brand, especially when I started to dive into doing writing. So this year, I'm not going to argue with you bitches. We either going to meet outside or I'm going to block you.
Yeah, that's really pretty much it. I However you feel about me, that those your feelings. All I ask is you leave me the hell alone. If you leave me alone, I'm gonna leave you alone. We could be
Facts.
good. We'll be great.
Facts.
We'll be good.
Facts.
We'll be
So
fine.
let me ask you this. You have audiobooks. You have audiobooks. How do you ensure narrators capture the emotional intensity and the overall nasty tone of your writing without watering it down?
um, so funny story. So like if you don't know, so the whole Winston Hill series gets audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
All five books. And I know you like five. There is an exclusive prequel that will be coming from Winston Hills when Angel and Maria are living. it gets an audiobook. And then the Concrete and Cadence in that series gets audiobooks. All three of those books will get audiobooks as well. And the thing is, when we talk about how we could change the atmosphere and environment, when I sat down with Podium, I asked for what I wanted. I did not just take what they were offering.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for what I wanted. So the first one of the things is I make the final selection of my narrators for all of my books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted that thing. I wanted them to be black. I said I need the narrators to be black because, again, blackness is a lived experience. Nobody can encompass black voices like black people. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
first thing. But also, I was working on producing Enigma out of pocket before I sat down with Podium. I had no idea Podium was going to reach out to me. I want to give a huge shout out to Wesley Shaban
Mm-hmm.
and her company because started working with them on the project. And when I say so gracious, had me a payment plan and everything. This is what you want to do. We can get you on a payment plan. We can get you going. And we know that you really want this. How many people you know gonna cut you a payment plan
Not too
to
many.
produce an audiobook? Like if you are an indie author and you're looking to do an audiobook, if you don't want to go the Podium or Audible or Spotify route, you want to put it out independently, please reach out to Wesley Siobhan. Y'all know the goat when you hear it. So they had worked with me, and then a Podium came to the table and they said we want the Winston Hill series, and I said, oh, well, let me be honest with you, right? Because I'm not gonna lie to anybody for my own beneficial gain. I'm already working with Wesley Siobhan and her company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to back out of the deal. I want to move forward. We've auditioned the narrators. We have a schedule set. I know when the master files will be delivered. All of these things have been worked out. I just, if anything, you pay for the production cost and you can distribute it and we can do business as normal. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not willing to walk away from Wesley and her company. I'm not willing to undercut another black woman. And they were like, all right, that's fine. We'll do
Yes.
it. We'll do
Okay.
it. And so Enigma is being narrated by Wesley Shaban and Sharif Stevens
Okay.
as a duet.
Okay.
Um,
And when is it out?
it's coming in May.
Okay, come on now.
It's coming in May, and Awakening is being narrated by Tree Taylor and Winston James.
Mm.
Um, Concrete and Cadence is, I know Lawrence Baldwin has
Mm-hmm.
agreed to do Concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we're still looking at the FMC because we auditioned a few women, and there were some that really stuck out to me. So and I believe you'll see Wesley again in Winston Hills.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think you'll see her. She's gonna spin the block for a different character in Winston Hills, which makes me really excited because Wesley is one of one.
Mm.
She's one of few
She's a
black woman
sweetheart.
oh, she is so sweet. But one of few black women narrators who can actually change her voice because if you ever get a chance to listen to Currently Untitled from Tia Love,
Mm-hmm.
Wesley is doing the FMC and MMC, and you would really think they were two different people. I thought the name, it was like Wesley Shaban and Rashad Shaban. I thought that was her actual husband. That was Wesley.
Hmm. Damn. Hell.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what advice would you give to newer authors who want to write urban romance and erotica but are afraid of judgment or visibility?
My biggest question to the people would be who can whoop your ass about telling your
Lord
story?
Jesus.
Who can whoop your ass about telling your story? The story that's on your heart to tell, the pen that you want to put to paper, you publish it. Who can fight you about it? Who? Who can do anything about it?
Lord.
Not a single soul. Nobody can stop you from telling your story but you. That's
Facts.
really it. That's really it. You can self-publish your own books. It don't matter how good or how bad somebody might think they are. Can't nobody do a damn thing to you for telling your story.
Facts.
And there's always somebody out here who wants to read your story and will love it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even a book that I might like. 100 other people will love that damn book.
Mm-hmm.
Or a book that I love, 10 other people might not like it.
Facts.
Tell the story that's on your heart to tell. And it don't have to be a 400-page book. Put that novella out. Put that goddamn novelette out. What we waiting for? Get that Substack going. Queue up that Patreon.
Yeah.
It's enough space for us to all be here. It's enough space for us to win in this
Yeah.
space. We could all win in this space. I want to see people winning, especially my sorors. I want to see us winning. Okay. There's enough space for everybody. Put that damn book out. Put it
Facts.
out.
So where can we find your book? But make sure you start with your website first.
My website is therightbarns.com. So that's where you're going to be able to find me, events where I will be at, books that are coming or books that are currently out. You can keep up with me at therightbarns.com. You can send me a message. I'll get it. I check my emails. On social media, Deatrin Fro preaches this branding. Everything is the Right Barns.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the Right Barns, it's me. It's me at all times. I run my social media. You can get my books on Amazon. I mean, they got a monopoly. Zion got a monopoly on printed books. Good God, we need to
I'm
have a
using Lulu
conversation.
right now, and they more expensive.
Really? Jesus Christ, everybody expensive.
They're more expensive, but they get there faster.
Okay. Yeah, I will be at several events. So this weekend, I'll be at Love in the Carolinas, and that's in Florence, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I will be at Black Romance Book Fest because delayed, not denied. I did not get accepted as an author initially. And then I was invited to be an author. So delayed, not denied. Keep
Mm-hmm.
shooting that shot, keep releasing those books, keep engaging. It will get there. I will be at Southern Hearts and I will be at Bookmark Her.
Okay.
So that's where you can find me at. And then uh if I have books left over and you want a signed copy, send me a DM or something. We figure it out. I get it shipped to you. I get your shit right in the mail. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit. So I'm gonna do your outro. I'm gonna make 2 announcements, and then I'm gonna let you get out of here.
Okay.
All right. CM Barnes writes the kind of stories that remind us that we are allowed to be soft and sensual, healing, and human, desired and worthy without apology. Her work isn't just romance, it's reclamation. It's storytelling that makes room for Black women to exist fully in their bodies, their emotions, their pleasure, and their complexities. Tonight's conversation reminds us that Black love does not have to be rooted in suffering, that sensuality can coexist with emotional depth, and that storytelling, when done with intention, becomes cultural work. Make sure you support this phenomenal author. Buy the books. Get them goddamn audio books when they come out for pre-order.
Yeah,
Share
they're
her
going out for
work.
pre-order.
Show up for Black women who are writing themselves into freedom. CM Barnes, thank you for
Thank you
sharing
for
your
having me.
voice, your vision, and your truth. This is Black Girl Tired Book Talk. And as I always say, stay loved, stay loud, and stay Black on motherfucking purpose.